Good evening to all you mothers who have joined the live. So I'm just waiting for 5 minutes for mommies to come online, and then I'll kickstart today's topic, which is on all about breastfeeding. So today I'm going to cover multiple headers, right from knowing your breast to a perfect latch to why should the baby open his or her mouth wide before latching, how can you increase breast milk supply, food that can help you in increasing the supply, what are the tips on breastfeeding, what are the reasons for low breast milk supply, which is other than genetics, my breastfeeding journey between Azriel and Angela, and finally the 15 minutes Q&A. So I'm just waiting for all of you to join the feed. Do note that the chat window will be open to you provided you have subscribed to my channel. So before you want to ask your question, please do keep your questions ready. If it is not ready, please write it down, because let's make the best use of those last 15 minutes where you can ask the questions related to breastfeeding. I'll be only addressing questions around the breastfeeding concept, and you need to press the subscribe button for you to be able to send me a chat, your question, and I'll respond. Also, I was very happy that I had two mothers registering, especially who are soon to be mommies, and this is very important for you to know even before you deliver your baby. It's very important to understand as a mother how to breastfeed your child, what are the do's, what are the don'ts, and if you have not met a lactation specialist, then this is an amazing webinar for you to understand better from my own experience. So it's 7:02 right now. I'm just going to wait for 3 more minutes so that I have more people joining the live. This live is at 7 to 8, and I do this live every day on Sunday, 7 to 8, and the topics would be very different each time. So this is my 4th live, and today is a free live. The last 3 have been paid, where the cost has not been exorbitant. It was just within 200 rupees. So stay tuned for my next webinar as well, and I would want you all to join to gain more knowledge, to be more confident in your parenting journey. So I had put this up online so you can see Azriel having milk. I'll try playing it again. The reason I'm playing this, if you see Azriel, he's taking long sips, right? That means the baby's taking bigger sips and is taking a mouthful, okay, versus okay. So that's why I wanted to show this to you guys, just to know that when you're breastfeeding your child, look at your child, not on your phone or on your television, okay? Connect with your baby, look at your child, and it's a fun journey. You don't have to think, is your baby getting enough milk, is my baby's weight increasing? No tension. I just want you guys to have fun. Look into your baby's eyes, connect, bond, and just enjoy. Okay, so let's kickstart the webinar. So the first thing is about knowing your breasts better. So I've just done a small demonstration for you guys to make it quite simpler. So this is your nipple, this is the areola, like the darker area that you have. Please do not have offenses towards the colors I'm using. And then this is the entire mammary gland that you have, right? So the reason I am showing you this is you do not need a nipple which is big for your baby to latch perfectly, because the perfect latch is not this. This is not a perfect latch. So if this is your baby's mouth, this is not your perfect latch. This is a perfect latch, right? And the baby has to suckle like this. Okay, so this is very important for you guys to know. And I just want you to see what are these. This is how your breast looks, how it is inside. You have this ducts, okay, you have the milk pool that happens, and then the areola. Now, very important that when you're pregnant itself, the nature helps you to start this process. It is not after you deliver. So the granular tissue starts forming when you're pregnant in the 16 to 20 weeks itself, when you're pregnant. Okay, and for me, both my pregnancy, I had colostrum leak from my breasts during my pregnancy itself. And my mom was like, okay, that's great that you have a colostrum leak, because I'm sure you're going to have a lot of milk supply. And I was very happy about it. And luckily, I have had good supply of milk, and I will share with you, what I have been doing, because it's important to follow things right to have a great breast milk supply. Okay, so about knowing your breasts well, in this section, I want you to remember that colostrum leaks happen during pregnancy. So it's completely normal. It happened with me in both my pregnancy. And colostrum is high in antibodies and antioxidants, which helps your baby's immune system. So, which is very important that talk to your gynecologist and ensure that as soon as your baby is born, let your gynecologist allow your baby to, suckle on your breast. They may not be knowing how to do it, but there will be a lactationist, so ensure that the nurses or the lactation specialist is with you guys during your delivery or operation, whatever is the way the delivery is going to be, and they are guiding you of how to feed immediately once the baby is born. And this is very important, because your human body needs to understand that you have given birth to a young one, and your brain has to start signaling that now is the time to start producing breast milk. So as the baby starts suckling, for the first 3 to 4 days, what would come out is colostrum. That's why you might give formula feed to your babies in these 4 days. So for me, in my first pregnancy, the suckling was not done by the gynecologist immediately as soon as the baby was born, versus with Azriel, it happened. So I would say my doctors in my second pregnancy were much better when compared to my first doctors. So in terms of the happiness hormone, which is called oxytocin, right? This is a happiness hormone which is very important and gets released in your brain, the space in your brain called as hypothalamus. I'll repeat it. It's hypothalamus. This identifies and it releases a signal once you're happy, the oxytocin, to produce breast milk. So very important is you have to be stress-free and happy. Okay, so that's very important. So moving to the next segment is the perfect latch. Okay, what are the benefits for the mother and the baby? If there is a perfect latch, your baby can have enough milk. You will have no issues. You will not have stress. Your breasts are not going to be sore, and you will have an amazing time. So the perfect latch is important because you need to transfer milk to your baby. Okay, prevent your sore nipples. Okay, third being comfortable feeding, and fourth is preventing the bacteria. Now when I say bacteria, it's called mastitis. Okay, so these are 4 points. I want you to write it down. First being, why should you have a perfect latch? Because you need to transfer this milk to your baby first. Your second point, you need to prevent sore nipples, because I don't want any mother to be in pain. Third, you have to have comfortable feeding. It can't be that you're bending, you're holding the baby and your shoulders are hurting. And the last one is to prevent mastitis. Okay, this is a bacterial infection. Now this infection happens. Now that does not mean you stop breastfeeding. You can still continue breastfeeding. You can talk to your doctor. They might give you either painkillers or they might give you even antibiotics. Okay, so during this time, right, when you have this infection, your breast milk taste might change. It might become a little salty. So you might see that the baby is a little reluctant to have the breast milk. Now it can happen in any of your breasts, right or left. About my journey, I will talk about the mastitis as well. Okay, now let's go to the next segment. How and why about baby to open the mouth wide for perfect latching. So I have a small video which I have done it with Azriel. Yes, Azriel is older, but you need to do a similar activity even if your baby is a newborn, to especially until the first 40 days, because they are learning. They're really small, they might be underweight, they have to gain weight. So you need to latch it right, so that the energy that they are spending on suckling. So see, there is a lot of energy that they are using to suckle. So that's why many times what happens is, when there are underweight babies, they do not recommend to breastfeed the child, because there's a lot of effort that the baby has to do to suckle, right? And then the right amount has to go in. So as a mom, it's your prime responsibility to learn the right latching and give your baby the right way of having milk. Okay, so for the first 4 days, colostrum would be there. Ensure you giving the baby, even little is okay, but let the baby get as many antioxidants and antibiotics which will boost their immune system. So let's not waste this at all. Okay, and this is usually thicker, and it will come to a traditional breast milk by like 14 days. So you don't have to worry that why is my breast milk so dark, why is it yellow. It is different, and gradually the color would change. So going to the next, so let me play this video. So this is how you play with your baby. Okay, before the baby opens his mouth wide, it needs to be a wide mouth. It cannot be that the baby has just opened a small, 30 degrees. It needs to be at least a 120 degree open, right? And then when you're going to observe, you're going to see if this is baby's mouth, you're going to play on the upper lip. Okay, this is the upper lip. Consider this is the upper lip and this is the bottom. So you're going to play. The baby will definitely open, because that's nature. So the baby will open. If this much, do not, because see it's very small. So the baby will open wide, and then ensure this is inside the baby. So you can hold the baby's head. So I will just demonstrate. Let's say this is the baby. You hold your baby's head, and when the baby opens the mouth, so if you then, that's how you move it in. So you need to be very mindful and ensure that the latch is a perfect latch. If it is not latching, remove it out. It's okay. It requires a lot of patience. Get the perfect latch, and you will see that the baby is taking long suctions. That means the baby is taking enough milk, is able to. And how do you understand the baby is getting enough? Your breast might be full, and as the baby suckles and has enough of milk, your breast is going to be lighter and softer. Okay, it's very simple. It's going to be full, it's going to be full, and you're going to observe that yes, baby is sucking, and you need to observe the baby's mouth. I've already shown you Azriel's video where the baby he is sucking, and then Okay, and that's how you need to observe in terms of the perfect latch. So ensure that your baby is perfectly latching, and you are also observing your baby. If the baby has not done a perfect latch, you can slowly put your finger, or widen the lip, because they don't have teeth. Widen, and you will be able to remove your breast out of their mouth. Okay, you just have to widen their lip slowly, gently, and once it's out, do that again. So when you are putting your breast into their mouth, because with your hand you need to bring them closer to your breast, okay, and also you need to ensure that your breast is inside their mouth and it is touching the roof of their mouth. So this is the roof of the mouth, so it needs to be upward. The nipple will go upward, and it is not, as I said, it is not only here. So if this is the mouth, so if this is the mouth and this is the roof, this needs to go upward like this. Okay, they are going to suckle like that. And the long strides which I spoke about means that they are taking more milk. Okay, and there are times, let's say the baby is suckling, okay, and let's say this is your breast. I'll just hold it here. You can also press your breast, okay, so they'll get more. So you don't need to press like this. Hold it nicely, it's your own breast, and then just do this. So what happens is they'll get a lot more, and you will see that there is a mouthful, so they will wait to gulp it down. Okay, so you can do that. They'll get more and then they'll gulp it down. The long strides. Okay, that's about why baby should have a mouth open, wide latch, and this perfect latch will eliminate all issues, right from that the baby is not gaining weight, you're having your sore nipples, you're not able to have more breast supply. All these problems has one solution. The most important solution is perfect latching. Okay, so I hope all of you have learned it. If not, I'll be open to hearing from you and I can re-demonstrate it. I was just telling my sister and my husband that it would have been a great experience if I do a workshop where I meet you guys one-on-one, where I can really show you myself, because I'm not comfortable showing me on camera about breastfeeding. There are many videos online which do have, but I'm not comfortable. But if it's a one-on-one, maybe in the future, let's see if I can conduct a workshop. I'll be happy to demonstrate it for you with my baby, or even demonstrate it for you with your own babies. Okay, let's move next to the next segment, which is to do with breastfeeding diet and breastfeeding tips. Okay, so going to the breastfeeding diet and breastfeeding tips, please take these things down, and as a mother, please read different things, like read about food. Food is very important, not just for you, even for your baby. And there are research which says that a mom's diet during pregnancy as well as breastfeeding does have impact on babies' food habits and behavior when you start solids. So I'm not going to go deeper into that topic. I did speak about it in my previous webinars on a guide to starting right, as well as solids for babies for 12 months and above. So please take this down. I have 13 important food that I have kept it in my diet right from day one. This was for both, for Azriel as well as Angela. These were part of my diet. I wouldn't say I had all the food every day, no, but everything was a part of it. Let's say one day I had something, second day I had different thing, but one of the most important thing that was there in my diet, both for Angela and Azriel, was coconut, and second was garlic, and the third was oats. So these three things were there in my diet. So please take these down in terms of the food. You need to have green leafy vegetables. Now, what are available in India or abroad, depending on what you can see, green, bright green color, add it to your diet. Spinach, that's palak, broccoli, lettuce, Anything that is green in color, please add in, because it has a lot of calcium. Okay, that's your first. Your second is methi seeds. So in Mangalore, I'm a Mangalorean, and in Mangalore, what they give is methi sweet, like methi rice. Methi and rice is put together with coconut milk, and a sweet is made, and I was having that for the first time and I loved it. So what Mangalorean do, this is at least in my home, my grandma would ensure that, you know, every 3 days I have some sweet which is made of milk and jaggery. So I just enjoyed it, and I have a sweet tooth, so, and I love Mangalorean sweets with jaggery. So coconut milk promotes breast milk supply and jaggery, and because in the first I had a lot, in the second, since I know that I produce a lot, I told mummy that, please mummy, I don't want excess, because what happened is I had to pump out and let go of milk like at least a liter, until you know, my body understood that Azriel would only take a certain amount of milk, it would produce in excess. Okay, and later my body was able to understand, plus, you know, as the baby grows, baby would also take more intake of milk, so that ways the balance happened after 40 days. Otherwise, for the first 40 days I have, you know, wasted the breast milk, which was you know, I had to pump out. So let me go to the segment where I'm talking about. So the second was methi seeds. Third is garlic. Now garlic can add some flavor into the milk, because as I said, breastfeeding food, I mean, during breastfeeding, your food does impact the flavor of your breast milk, but very light. It's not like, you know, you can make out a difference in it. But yeah, so do have garlic in your diet. Garlic and ginger are great, but not excess. Okay, next is whole grains. Now for me, the whole grains, the best choice is oats. So oats porridge, maybe try having once in a day. Great. You can add you can make the oats porridge with coconut milk. You can add in dry fruits, so that can be one of your desserts, or, you know, a snack time between your lunch and dinner. Dry fruits, that is your fifth. Your sixth is sweet potato and carrots. Excellent. Sweet potato, if it's not going to create gas if you're going to eat it fresh. So as soon as it is boiled, have it. It's okay, it's not going to cause gas. And if you're worried about gas, then have pudina, you know, just pudina, because pudina does help in reducing gas naturally. Fennel seed. Now when I say fennel seed, it is soft. So it's soft. How do you include it in your diet? Use that as a mouth freshener. So after every meal, especially your lunch and dinner, use soft, put it in your mouth, and that's gonna help. Another thing is white thill or sesame seeds. So you can make a powder and maybe add it in milk and add some jaggery and have alternative days, or maybe add a little of it in your oats porridge itself. I have already mentioned to you the ninth being coconut. The 10th being tulsi leaves. Tulsi leaves is excellent. Have one a day, every day is amazing. Not just for breast milk supply, increasing breast milk, but anyways, it has a lot of benefits. So you can add it into your herbal tea as well and have it. The 11th is dill leaves or seeds. If you get the seeds, use the seeds, or dill leaves, make something. You can make rice bhakri, or you can, some people like the dill leaves bhaji. They I think they use moong dal and make the sabzi. I do not like the flavor of it, so I did not use it, but I only like it in the rice bhakri that is made in Karnataka. The 12th one is drumstick. So please take these down. Don't worry if I'm fast. You can listen to it, you can go back to the video and listen to it and make notes, and then create a diet for yourself, so that you can increase your breast milk supply, or at least focus on how your diet can contribute to it positively. Okay, it's not that just by diet your breast milk will increase. That's not a right notion. There are multiple factors. Diet is one of the factor. Okay, and the last being protein rich food. Mangaloreans, Christian Mangalorean, lot of fish. So I did have a lot of fish, but two fish which is excellent is salmon. You can also have the Indian salmon, which is ravas, and sardines. And this is very important. Your diet is very important. So your perfect latch being the most important part for you to ensure that you are having the right amount of breast milk to feed your baby. Second is your diet. Okay, now the third thing is you have to hydrate yourself. You can't be having less water. Okay, I'm not going to say that you're not going to have less sleep, because it's going to happen. You have to sleep when your baby sleeps, and you have to wake up when your baby wakes up, and that is a pattern you will learn in the first 2 weeks. Because if you're going to have a mindset saying that I have to sleep for 7 hours or else I am not active, does not work. You have to have a mind shift happening where you can ensure that you are having power naps with your baby, and you're awake when your baby needs you. So moms, you have to wake up when your baby wakes up to feed your child, because your baby needs your breast milk, and quite essential in the first 40 days. Okay, so 3 liters of water is great. Don't go to 5-6 liters. It can reduce, not reduce, make your milk a little watery, because almost 75 to 85 to 90% of your breast milk is made of water. Okay, so let's not make it watery by drinking too much of water. So what I did was, as per the recommendation of my pediatric for Azriel's time, he told me, just before you feed Azriel, just have a glass of water. So keep yourself hydrated first, and then pick your baby and have it. Maybe this is the simplest thing you can follow as well. A tip for you, have the water. Once you have had your glass of water, go ahead, pick your baby, and feed your baby. Next is, this also helps in opening up your ducts, is giving hot compression. So what happens is, your breast might tend to become hard in case the milk is completely not drunk by the baby, right? So before even that happens, I will share my experience in my journey. So what you can do is give hot compression. So you can use a cloth, have hot water, just like how warm water, have hot water, and then give compressions on your breast everywhere. Not only up, you have ducts even below, so they can tend to become hard even below. So you need to ensure your breast is complete. It's not just your milk ducts are on the top. So do not have that incorrect notion. Give this hot fermentation, hot compression, all around your breast. Okay, that's your second way of caring for your own breast and helping to open up your ducts. Okay, rather than your ducts being clogging. Your next point is massage. So you can use coconut oil, or you can use ghee made at home to massage your breast. So how do you massage your breast? So this is your breast. So use your fingertips. So just a minute, give your, and just, so if this is your breast, do this. Okay, so this way. Okay, the other is both your hands and massage. So it's very good if you can at least do once in a day. Great. Massage, so do it once in a day at least. And if you can't, at least ensure that when you're having your bath time, try doing it. But what would be great is doing it 3 to 4 times in a day. With oil, if you don't feel comfortable to use oil, it's okay, you can just do it dry, not necessary to use oil as well. Another fact that I wanted to share is prolactin hormone, okay, gets released by your body. The peak of it is between 12 to 5 in the early morning. This is a fact because of nature, and because it gets released, you see that your baby wakes up at this window to have milk. So the prolactin, right, releases during that time, and you will have a lot of breast milk. So make the best use of this time to ensure that you're sending the signals to the brain that, yes, I am breastfeeding my child and I need the right amount of breast milk to be produced so that I can give the right amount to my baby and ensure that the breastfeeding journey is fun and is a memory for lifetime. Okay. The next thing is bonding, right? Your baby is a part of you always, right? So the baby might be out of your womb, but the baby still feels that you're connected. So there's this research which I was reading when I was wanting to know that why babies, what words do babies speak, and it says that babies tend to say dada faster or any other word is because they still feel that mommies are a part of them, right? The mothers are a part of them, and that's the reason that babies are bonded to you. They are one with you even once they are out of their womb. So skin bonding is very important. Eye to eye contact, playing with your baby, very important. This is what my doctor advised the pediatric of Azriel is: drink your water, wake your baby up every 1 to 2 hours within this window, and feed the baby. Wake him up, play with the baby, connect with the baby, have fun, because that when you're having fun, oxytocin, this hormone, gets released, right? The brain sends signal, and then your prolactin also hormone kicks in, and that will help you in producing breast milk. And the first 10 days very crucial is because you are training your body to produce. You're telling the body that what do you want, and let's command it from your body, because you are in control and you can control your body. Okay, so the next is skin to skin touch, very important. Bonding with your baby, ensure you're bonding with your baby. And the last but very important point is your self-care. So do not think of things that are not necessary when you're breastfeeding. Only thing that you have to think is, have you ensured that it's a perfect latch? If you think it's not a perfect latch, remove your breast out of the mouth, redo the thing. Next, sit comfortably. I will come to the section of positions. Be comfortable. Don't take stress. There's no point. And ensure that you're having the most supportive family. So ensure you're creating this. It will work out. And do not have the notion in your mind that my mom had less breast milk supply, so I will too have less breast milk supply, because you're already thinking negative, and negative emotions are the last thing that you should have. So ensure you're highly positive and you're moving or you're radiating this energy of positivity into your baby. You're having the right amount of command on your body, sending that signals to your brain to produce what you want for your baby, to nourish your baby. And the nature will support you, provided you're doing every step right to nourish your baby. Okay, let's then move on. So in terms of your diet and your tips, now is about your position. So majority of the time I use the cradle position. I did not use a nursing pillow, but I used pillows. So I have a few pillows here with me. So I ensured that I kept pillows here, because initially when you feed, right, until the baby is older, the baby is too small, so it's very difficult to hold the baby. So I did keep pillows on my lap so that I can bring the baby to my breast level. So let me just go a little back so I kept pillows so that I can raise the baby. So once the baby was comfortable, I had to ensure that I am not, see, if you see right now, you can see the chair, right? I had to ensure that I am comfortable. My shoulders are relaxed when you're sitting. It can't be like this, right? Because you have to ensure your position is right, because you're not moving. More you move, the latch is going to come out. So if you have to have your perfect latch, your position is very important. You being comfortable is important. If you're sitting on the bed, be comfortable, keep your legs stretched. If you like folding your legs, fold your legs. Ensure your back has a proper support. Your shoulders are relaxed. It needs to be relaxed, not heavy. It cannot be you're trying to balance, and then you're going to balance and the latch is going to be out. So ensure that you're doing the right position. So I majority use the cradle position. That's the position. I also use the position where I would lie down, I would sleep, and Azriel would be here, right, and he would suckle right from the side. So if you see that, that's called the laid back position. I would recommend you to start doing the side laying position with the child. There is no harm. Yes, some people do say that the baby's head shape can change. So if you're very concerned and want to avoid the lying on the side and feeding, I will recommend you to feed after 40 days. Okay, the lying side, but it's an amazing position. You're going to get the rest as much as you want. Okay, and the baby will also be in the right position. So I'm talking about the side lying position where you're sleeping, you're lying down, okay, and then you're feeding the baby on the side. Okay, and then the football. I don't know, many people in India may not be doing the football hold. So basically it's here. So your baby's legs will be behind here and your head is here, their head is here, and then you're feeding it. So I think this is very excellent position for mothers with twins, right? Because holding them like this, very difficult. Again, holding them in the lying position, again difficult. And both of them need milk at the same time. So then the football hold is the best position. And yes, consulting with the lactation specialist is a great thing to do, rather than just relying on your mother or your mother-in-law or your sister, and if they have not had great experiences. Because learn from experiences where, like for example, I say my breastfeeding journey has been amazing. I love breastfeeding. If that is what you listen from your mom, from your sisters, or if they are going to say difficult, please no, they are not your go-to people. Your go-to people are the ones who are having an amazing experience, no issues, and can tell you, okay, this is the right way to do it. Okay, or else stick to the lactation specialist. And we've spoken about the breastfeeding position. Very important is you have to be comfortable, not just your baby. So if you think you need pillows, please buy them. You need help to get up from the bed, please ask for help. Do not hesitate to seek support. Do whatever requires to be in the most comfortable position to avoid cramps, to avoid your baby from not latching perfectly, or the baby has latched perfectly, but because you are in an uncomfortable position, you are trying to move and the latch is missed, and the baby timing, let's say the baby has just started for a minute, and then you have to reattach the baby to your breast. So let's follow comfortable positions. Back should be resting, shoulders should be relaxed and resting. Use pillows initially until your baby becomes bigger. Like if you see Azriel's today's reel that I've posted on Instagram, Azriel was very comfortably, he was like half of his leg was on the sofa and half of his body. So bigger the baby, it's going to be easier. Your experience of breastfeeding is going to be easier. It is the first 3 months, first 6 months that you need to make it right, because that's their primary source of gaining weight. That is their primary source of building their immune system. Everything is associated with the first 6 months. So let's make it amazing for us as well as for our babies. Okay, now let's go to the next section. Okay, let me just sip some water. Okay, so top reasons, I would say, this is in general, everybody would talk about the low milk supply, is first, as I said, poor latch. Second, insufficient milk transfer. What causes the second? You're right, the first. Infrequent feeding. Now when I'm saying infrequent, that means even though baby needs milk, you're not feeding. Like, you're just waiting for the baby to sleep. Like, 3 hours, 4 hours, it's okay. No. Wake the baby up. The 40 days are crucial. Every 2 hours, if you can feed the baby, wake the baby up, give. So, in my experience with Angela, what happened was she had bilirubin. which is jaundice. Even Azriel had, but you know, the concept of bilirubin in 5 years apart was way different. And yeah, let me not go deeper there. Let's move on and talk about. So with since the doctor said that since she has bilirubin, you need to feed her every 2 hours. I would ensure that she sleeps, and then I would keep my alarm, wake up, and feed her every 2 hours. And I would first, you know, even pump it out, because the journey with Angela was way different of for the first 40 days versus Azriel in the first 40 days. Later, after 40 days, it was almost the same, but the first 40 days with Angela was different versus Azriel. I will share it with you in the upcoming segment. Next is the fourth one is use of pacifiers or bottles. Try reducing the use of pacifiers if you can, and bottle feeding. If you want to ensure that you're bonding with your child, you're having the skin to skin, you're wanting your breast milk supply to increase, your prolactin to be better, hormone to be better, your oxytocin, your happiness hormone to be released, ensure that you're feeding the baby through your own breast without worrying that baby is going to, you know, hurt you. I'm not able to do the perfect latch. You will be able to. Believe in yourself, which is very, very, very important. Believing in yourself. Okay. And there are other factors, not just these 4 factors. There are other factors, but which can be controlled is hormonal imbalance. You can definitely talk to your, to the doctor to rectify this. Medication, like, you know, you again taking a certain medication which can impact your low supply of milk, or there is any previous breast surgeries that have been done, or some paternal stress. Now, stress can do a lot negative than positive, so you will have to ensure that the journey is happy and you're focusing only on the perfect latch, bonding with your baby, having fun during this entire experience, and not thinking that is my baby gaining weight, am I feeding right, what will others say, is my baby thin. No, don't be bothered by these things. Just focus on the one factor is look at your baby, see the latch, see if the baby is having, you know, big sucks. If the baby is doing, you know, little sucks, then, you know, press your breast, like, you know, I said, like this, press your breast, and, you know, so milk would release. I think there is a reel on Instagram where I have done splash the milk. So for me, my right breast is bigger versus my left breast, and this happened during Angela's time after breastfeeding. So, you know, and there are many, you know, openings in my right breast. So there's more milk, milk that produces on the right side versus the left side. And Azriel loves having on the right side. So left side, I would say it's very slow, and right side is very fast. So it might happen to you also. Just wanted to share one of the facts, so that if there is any mother who is worried, saying that, you know, oh, is it because I feed one side more and one side less? It also depends on the mammary glands. So there are more mammary glands on one side versus another. It can also be the reasons. Finally, you have to breastfeed the baby well. Don't be bothered on what's happening. Just ensure that you're enjoying the entire process. Let me quickly go to the next section, which is to do with my breastfeeding journey. So if you see, I'm enjoying it. I just love it. And it's amazing. So when it came to Angela's time versus Azriel's time, I used a nipple shield during Angela's time, and I did not know that, you know, nipple shield is not even required. So when I went to my gynecologist for Azriel's delivery, he said, you don't need your nipple. Your notion, like, you know, you don't even needs to change. And he referred me to the lactation specialist, and then I started seeing videos, like, because I did not see it, and I saw videos, and I'm like, oh, this is what I didn't do right when I was expecting for Angela. And now when I know, okay, these are the myths. You don't need to have a large nipple. You just need to ensure that the latch is right. It's not on the nipple, but around the area, the brown area that we all have, brown, pink, whichever colors. I'm not gonna talk about it. And they need to suckle it, right? So with Angela, as I said, I would feed her every 2 hours. That was what was suggested. Versus Azriel, my doctor said the first 10 days you have to ensure your baby is fed anytime between 1 hour to 2 hours. You have to wake your baby up and feed, because your body has to signal to your brain that yes, I have a baby and I need breast milk to be produced. So yes, it was tiring, um, because I did follow 1 to 1.5 hour. But it's a great experience, because doctor said after 10 days your baby is going to wake you up, and it did happen. Not that I had sleepless nights, and even when let's say, if I was short of my sleep where I needed that power to sustain, what I would do is, let's say Azriel is awake, I would ensure that I have pumped my breast milk and I've stored it in the bottle, and he's awake. I would tell my help that take care of him for 1 hour, just give me a 1 hour peaceful power nap. Please do it. Seek for support. It's okay, you can feed the baby with the bottle once, not a problem. If you're taking in a 1 hour, nothing is going to happen. And there's a notion that there'll be a lot of gas formed in your baby's stomach. Then use a bottle which does not have air bubbles that goes into their mouth, because they are going to have air going into your mouth, right? When you're bottle feeding, burp them. That's the way you can avoid colic in babies. And you need to ensure that you are also rested. If you think you need that 1 hour, take it. Just use the bottle, keep it handy. Second very important thing, and the most memory, I wouldn't say a great experience, but this was a learning for me from the first to second, is that I think I produced milk not like fourth day. I did have a supply right from the third day, and I did not tell my mom, neither I knew that that's how the form is, like that's how hard it would get. And by evening my breast was so hard, and I started crying because the pain was terrible. And Aniket comes, I mean, he had gone home for dinner, and he comes back to the hospital, and he's like, why is Angela crying? And he was like, and he was shocked to see that it was me. So the most important thing that I did during my second delivery is that I kept my pump ready. I had my pump. As soon as it filled, I'm like, I know the baby, if the baby is not able to suckle and take all the breast that is being produced, I have to pump it out. So I was prepared to pump it out, but not take the pain. So be prepared. We were over prepared, and know that breast is going to be breast milk is going to start forming from the third day. So start using the breast pump. Don't allow your breast to become hard like a rock, and then you have to do multiple things to make it soft. So just be precautious, be mindful, because baby cannot have all the milk. So use the breast milk, take it out. Some people do use this expressed breast milk in their bath, and that's how you can utilize it. In terms of the other thing that I want to share is, I used a manual breast pump versus an electric. I would say any is fine, depending on the time you want to consume. If you think that you don't have enough time, then stick to an electric breast pump, or else go for manual. In terms of breast milk storage, you can store it in room temperature, if the room temperature is between 16 to 25 degrees Celsius, for 4 hours. Remember, the temperature is very important. Room temperature should be between 16 to 25 degrees. Then you can store it for only 4 hours. If you're putting it in the refrigerator, then the coolness in your refrigerator should be at or below 4 degrees Celsius. Then you can store it for 4 to 8 days. Okay. Then if it is a freezer, again, the temperature has to be at least minus 18 degrees Celsius. Then you can store it for at least 3 months. And if you have a deep freezer is, I'm sure you would know what is a deep freezer. If not, you can Google and find out what's a deep freezer. And there the temperature should be minus, not 18 degrees. Your freezer would have been minus 18 degrees. Here it is minus 20 degrees, and you can have your breast milk for even 12 months. This is what is even done. If you're interested in donating breast milk, please do so. If you have excess, please do. I do recommend it strongly. If you're in the metro cities, there are a lot of breast milk donation centers do do give this amazing do experience this. I would definitely recommend. For me, I did sign up, but I couldn't go ahead is because Azriel would have it all, so I didn't get opportunity to store any of it. So that's and about baby biting the nipples, I just did a quick video. Is this is what I do with Azriel if he bites, because see, especially they will not bite when they are on the big, they will come and bite your nipple, right? They're not going to bite like this. So if something is going to be wounded, that's going to be your nipples, right? So ensure you hold their nose. As soon as you hold their nose, they're going to open their mouth, okay? Or else you can also open their mouth by pushing their lips. You can put your finger in as well, because they'll not have their molars, right? So you can put your finger in and open their mouth like this, and then remove your breast out. But yeah, talk to your baby, tell your baby that it hurts. They might want to play, because now usually Azriel bites, but it is fun. He wants to bite because he knows I'm going to say ah, and he wants to listen to that, right? So it's fun. And yeah, you can pinch the baby's nose slowly. They're going to open the mouth, and or else use put your finger in and then keep your finger there, so at least there's space, and your nipple is not bitten by your baby. The next thing I just wanted to share is in terms of how to stop breastfeeding. So it depends on each person. So this is what I used for Angela's time. So you put it around your nipple area. I'm just looking for the balloon. Okay, so let me just take this for now. So so you have this, right, and this area. So you put this around your nipple and this area, and then this is quite a little bitter in taste, and then I put this for at least a week. The first day itself, Angela didn't want to suckle on it, and that's how I paused the breastfeeding for Angela for I think when she was 1 year 8 months of age. So I'm just keeping this slide for some time so that you can read what is it called in your own language. So in Konkani it's called Raktambol. So this is what I have already. I have bought it. So my mom had traveled here last month, and she did get it for me because I was not sure when should I stop. So I thought it's better to keep it handy. And yes, now I'm open for your Q&A. Use the comment box. You'll be able to comment only if you are, you have subscribed. So I have Mehek who is saying weaning tips. I've already shared. You can go back to the video and listen to the video where I'm talking about you can do it gradually. I have used, this is aloe vera resin, which I just showed you. I'll show that on the screen again. This is how it is. You need to take a piece, mix it in water and then apply it around. So this is has a bitter taste and your baby would not like it. So put it every day. So slowly your baby's gonna stop. Yes, the babies are gonna cry if you're not going to give it to them. So it's your decision whether you want to be strict and stop means stop, or you want to just feed them at the night, not in the morning. Because see, ideally your baby would not want a lot in the morning, because they use breast milk as a pacifier for them to fall asleep. So managing their behavior in the night would become the most important aspect for you. So just be mindful when you are doing this process. You will have to talk to your baby. Even though baby is not going to respond, baby is going to cry, you need to tell your baby that it's okay. He will be able to sleep. Use every support from your family to cuddle the baby, to make the baby understand to, when they are crying, you need to make them feel comfortable. They need to feel comfortable that okay, I can sleep, and it will. It is a gradual process. I think in 2 weeks you should be successful in doing that if you are planning to wean your baby only on solids and stop breastfeeding. You will have to subscribe to share your questions. So I will be live for 10 more minutes to address the questions that I get. So as the questions come, I will also so as since I'm not hearing any other questions from any mommies, so I will share whatever I do when it comes to breastfeeding. I do interact a lot with Azrael when we are breastfeeding. I do, tickle him sometimes. I talk to him. I would make some funny noises to make him laugh. I would definitely bond with him, look into his eyes. I have a question coming: how many times should I breastfeed my 13 months old baby? After 6 months you're going to start solids, right? So the most important thing is you don't have to keep a count. You can't keep a count on breastfeeding. You have to let the baby come to you and breastfeed. If you don't see that happening, at least feed once in 3 hours. That's what I would suggest. If you really want to keep a count, then I would say at least do it once in 3 hours. But ideally, it is called demand feeding. You should not actually have a routine saying that, okay, this is how much I am wanting to give my baby at this time. No, breastfeeding is based on demand. Like your baby comes immediately after solids, let the baby have. And the most important thing, don't let your baby cry before you give your breast milk. Understand your baby. You see that there is a thumb sucking happening, your baby is getting restless, those signs, because every baby is going to be different. So when they are waking up, there is a sign they want to drink, have breast milk. Don't delay. Like, this is what I've seen, that few mommies are not very attentive, or they are different, right? Everybody is different, so they don't wake up. So once you don't wake up, what would happen is the baby is going to cry. As soon as the baby is going to cry, you have to pacify the baby first to give your breast milk, right? So try waking up as soon as the baby starts moving, or the baby is showing you signs. At least you hear something from your baby, then wake up, and that is, they are waking up because they need your breast milk. So do not delay, give them when they need it. So I have comment. Let me go to this. So the botanical name is aloe vera, and the common name is aloe latex. In Hindi, it is called Geekuranmari. In Kannada, it's called Lolisara. In Konkani, it's called Raktabol. And in Malayalam, it is called Kattuvala. In Marathi, it is called Korpad. In Tamil, it's called Angani. I'm unsure if I'm pronouncing it right. In Telugu, it's called Kalabanda. In Urdu, it is called Gekavar. And in Tulu, it's called Rakta Phala. Okay. So that's, what I have used when I've thought that, I want to get Angela off breastfeeding, and this is the same that I'm planning to use for Azrael too. Please shoot the questions. I'm eagerly waiting. Something that I wanted to share about me as well is that I did have mastitis in my left breast. So what happened is I was seeing that Azrael was very reluctant. It's not that I don't feed him on my left side, I do feed him, but there was a time that he just didn't want to feed. So I was wondering what happened. So I expressed some milk, I tasted it myself, and it was salty. So that's when I was worried, why is it sour? That's when I did my research, and then I understood, oh, that's because it's because of, so it must be infection, because I'm not giving this quite often. So now I have put a habit that, okay, at least every day once I will give him on my left side. The other time he enjoys having the right side, so I do give it to him. And so Mehek, this is available online. I will share this link on email to all of you. So whoever is registered, I'll send an email. You will receive an online. If you want to buy it from wherever my mom has sent it, then I'll let you know, and then you can reply to me on email, and I can send that to you. So this is from a local shop in Mangalore. So that's the question from Heck. I am waiting for your other questions. I'm unsure You have to subscribe to ask questions, so please do subscribe, and I'm open to the questions. So I was talking about, the right side breast producing more milk versus the left side, and it's okay, um, but ensure that your latch is right, and ensure that you're happy, and you're comfortable in the position that you're giving. Post 6 months, your journey is going to be easy because your baby's neck could have been supported, so it's going to be easy for you to hold and give the baby milk. Right now, there are times that I would sleep, and Azriel would be this side, maybe on the side, and he can eat, he can stand and eat, he can eat in any direction. I mean, that's the best. Okay, thank you so much. My pleasure, Mehak. I have another question. My baby drinks a lot of milk during the night time, almost whole night. Is that okay? Whole night, I do not think you should keep your breast in the mouth the whole time. Slowly change this behavior, because then it's going to be difficult for you to plan to stop breastfeeding. Every 1 or 2 hours is actually normal. So it's okay, but when the baby is not drinking, you see that the baby is not suckling, then take your breast out of the mouth, because let the baby not have the habit of sleeping with the breast in the mouth. This is what Angela had, and Azriel doesn't. So Azriel has a habit where as soon as he's done, he turns and he's like, okay, I'm done. Whereas Angela wanted me, okay, just be there. I just want you to be around me. So that's the difference between both of them. This was the behavior until, even now. With Azriel, it is even now, not just when he started breastfeeding, but even now, as soon as he has his feed, he's done. He himself removes the breast out of his mouth. He doesn't need it. If I'm awake, then yes, I will remove it. And with Angela, no, she wanted it, so I had to manually remove it out of her mouth, and so that she could sleep. Also, I have told you that your breast milk supply is excellent during this 12 to 5 a.m. window. So nature is anyways doing that, so let they have it as much as they can. My pleasure, Sybil. So 3 more minutes, and I've shared all about breastfeeding with you guys, and make this amazing for you and for your baby. Let this not be, you should enjoy it, and not that, oh, I have to wake up. Let that, oh, and the negativity not be there. Enjoy this process, because it's a great experience, and there are many benefits of breastfeeding. Right from the very important thing that everybody wants to do is lose weight. Breastfeeding will lose weight because it's burning a lot of calories, just the way digestion also burns calories. The same way breastfeeding, producing milk, also burns a lot of calories. So I really recommend all mommies to breastfeed their children, babies. And if you're a mommy who wants to go back to office, and ensure that you're doing both, you're doing the bottle feed and you're doing the breastfeed. Maybe during the day do the bottle feed. You can express your milk and give it to the baby, or start with that in case the baby is not happy with the formula milk. But do not stop the bottle feed if you're planning to go back to work, or you anyways want to take your baby out, and you don't want, when you're out in a public place, to feed on your breast rather than on a bottle. Then ensure that the bottle feeding is also there and the breast feeding is also there. Breastfeeding, breast milk is way different than formula milk, because breast milk will boost your baby's immune system. So if your baby is unwell, you are providing a lot of immunity to your baby. You're passing the antibodies from you to your baby. So I strongly recommend all mommies to breastfeed. Doing it right will give you enough breast milk supply. As I said, the right latch, the baby opening the mouth wide, you ensuring that you are giving the baby your breast at the right time when the baby is opening the mouth, you being comfortable and feeding the baby, you being happy, bonding, and having all the positivity in you, all the energy in you to make a difference and nourish your baby. So, here is all about breastfeeding. I've shared with you all the things in a gist which will help you have an amazing experience breastfeeding your baby. And in the future, if you're going to have more babies, make it amazing. So, thank you, goodbye, and enjoy. Bye bye.